Hey everyone, this is Bhumika. Today I'm going to show you how you can create Dropdown with three simple steps by the use of variable. So let's get started. So let's start creating it from scratch. I'm just going to delete this design. So before starting with our design, our first step is to create the variables. So on the right side of the panel you can see local variables. Just create variables over here. So as I've already created the variables, so I'm just going to delete this so that we can create it from scratch. So I'm just going to name this collection as drop down and create. So here you can see a button that is saying create variable. Just click on it and it will show you different options like colors, numbers, string and boolean. So here currently for a drop down I want some names related to the fruit. So for that I need string. So I'm going to create a string and let's name it as fruit1 and let's add a value, let's say apple. So I'm going to repeat the same process for naming the rest of the fruit. So let's again create a string. So now we are done with our string part. Now for a button we want different state, that is default and hover state. So for that I'm going to create a color. So let's create a color. So firstly for I want my primary color to be white. So it has already created a white color for me, so I don't want to change that. Now again I'm going to create a color and for the font I want black, so I'm going to change this color to black. Now for our hover state, let's name it as hover and here I want something in lighter color, so I think that is okay. Now let's again create a string because for drop down we want two state. So for that I have to create a string and let's name it as option. I think it has created a color variable, but here I want string. So let's name it as option and select fruit. So yeah, we are done with our variables. Now I'm going to create a group so that we can create different sections while we are working on our design. So just right click and create a new group. I'm going to name it as fruits and select all of these and create a new group and name it as color. So for a last string I'm going to create a group and name it as select variable. Okay, so yeah, now we are done with our variables. Just close this section and now I'm going to start working on my design. So firstly we want button. So for that I'm going to create a text. Let's say button. Increase its size a little bit. I'm going to keep it as 24. Now I'm going to create an auto layout so that everything is in a single container. And now let's create a component And for our button we want to add a fill color, so you can see the four dots. Just click on it and it will going to show you the variables that you have created. So for my button I want primary color, and just change our text color. So for that, again I'm going to go these four dots. So again I'm going to select these four dots and select font. So now it is looking fine. I'm just going to add a corner radius of 4. So on the right section, you can see in properties of an auto layout. So here I want my text should be aligned left. So once I increase its size, it should be on the left side. Now just add a variant. So for the second button, I want it in hover state. So here we have a property of current variant. So just name this property as hover, and also I want to change its color to the state that we have created. So uh, let's name it as button list. Okay, so yeah, we are done with our buttons. I'm just going to copy this by pressing Command D, move it out of the frame, and here now we will be creating a list of the fruits. So just copy this and move it below this button. Just repeat the same process. Now select all of this by pressing Shift on your keyboard and create an auto layout. So once it has created an auto layout, again I'm going to create a component so that everything is in one place. So now you can see that we can see the divisions between the buttons. So I didn't want that. So for that I'm going to add color. So here select primary, and you can see that now everything looks in one container. So here I'm going to add a corner radius of 4, and let's name it as full list. So now what I'm going to do, that the variables that we have created for the fruit, I'm going to add this to our text. So on the right side of the panel you can see text, and there is an icon of apply variable. Just click on it and you will see the variables that you have created. So I want fruit 1. So you can see that how easily I can change the text that I've created for my drop down, and I don't have to type text again and again. So yeah, now we are done with our fruit list. Now we will be working on the drop down. So for that we have to create a button. So I'm going to name it as drop down. So for a drop down, what we want, that it should be in two state. One is the collapse state and the other is the expanded form. So before going it into the detail, firstly create a button for the drop down. So I'm going to create an auto layout and just add a component. So now let's add a fill color to it. So go to these four dots and select primary. Now I'm going to select a font color. So select this color, and now I'm going to add a corner radius of 4. So yeah, we are done with the button part, but here we have to add another thing, that is an arrow, because you have seen in the drop down that you have an option of closing and opening that section. So for that you need an icon. So I'm going to use a plugin, that is Iconify. Search arrow over here and then you can easily import the icon. So I'm going to add this icon to my frame and just rotate it. So this is a drop down section, and so basically I'm going to create an auto layout. So select this frame and align it to left side. Now again press, so on the right of this section add a variant, and once you add a variant, uh, I have already told you that we want two state. One is the collapse state and another one is the expanded state. So for the expanded one, I have to rotate my arrow in different position. So this will going to be an expanded form. So now I'm just going to copy this section and paste it over here. So for the expanded one, once we click, we will going to see the list of the fruits. So here I want this list to be connected with this frame. So for that I'm going to copy this and paste it in this frame. So now move this section slowly so that it will be, so that you keep both the things in one frame. So just name it as drop down. So now we are done with our button list. We have our food list and the drop down. So I'm going to change this text. So over here, just change it to options that we have created. So I'm going to change it to select food. So now we will be working on our prototype. So firstly, I'm going to work for our button list. So go to the prototype section and over here, connect this button with the second one, and here I want it while hovering, so that once the user click on or hover on this state, it will going to change the color of the button. So keep it as instant and just close the section. So now let's connect it with this screen. So I think we haven't added a property while we were designing, so just close this section and go to design. So here I want to name this property as collapsed, because it is a collapsed form that we have created. And change it to expanded. So yeah, now we are done with the properties. Now again go to the prototype section and click on this. So you can see that now it has changes the property to the expanded form, as we have connected our first with the second. So the second was expanded state. So just close this section and the, I'm going to repeat the same process for our first button. So here you can see our properties in collapse state, as the button is in collapse state. So just close this section. Now I'm going to create a frame so that we can see that how our interaction is working. So now go to the assets panel and over here select drop down. So let's play a prototype and see how it is working. So once we click on it, you can see that how smoothly it is working. We also have an hover state. So here now what I want is that once I click on one of the fruit, it will be in collapse state. So now let's play our prototype and see how our interaction is working. So once I click on it, you can see that how smoothly it is working. So here I also want to add a section that is missing over here. So what I want that once we click on any of the fruit, it will show me in collapse state. So for that I'm going to work on the prototype. So go to prototype and here click on interaction. So over here you can see a plus icon, just click on it and set a variable. So as I've set a variable, I going to select variable and I want my fruit 1. So now I want to change it to collapse state. So here we have created an prototype. So let's play and see how it is working. So so again before going to that, I want my button to look, so I want to add some effects to my button. So here I'm going to create a shadow. Let's keep it as so I'm going to change its color to something, let's say 8, and keep it as 25. So I think that is fine. So I'm going to create a style so that I can add it to my rest of the buttons. So go to effects and over here you can select your style. So yeah, now let's play a prototype. So once I click on it and select this, you can see that how smoothly it is working, even it is looking a bit interactive. So this is how you can use variables in your design. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do let me know in the comment section. I will be creating more such UX design related content, so do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also don't forget to press the bell icon so that you don't miss any of the updates related to my new videos. So till then, stay tuned and I will see you in my next video.